Good morning. I'm just about to post this reading and this video that I made last night. And I just wanted to invite you now to close your eyes and really sink in to the experience of God's love, and just remind you that it's always available to you if you get quiet enough, and maybe even save this lesson somewhere so that you can remember that it's up to you to ask for God to enter your mind and invite the presence of love into your mind at any moment that you might feel fear.
What if we made it up and it's all a puff of dust? Never alone.
Thanks everyone for coming back and meeting with me here again this week as I continue on my path of healing, releasing, undoing, and coming into heart-opening love more and more every day. So I've already gone to the app acourseinmiracles.now, and I went to the Oracle, I pressed the button, and received the A Course in Miracles Workbook Lesson 157. Into His presence would I enter now. So now we're gonna pull some cards as we sit in the vibration of our Creator, our Source, and trust that because the messages we are receiving are soft and gentle and holy, that we are now allowed to be soft and gentle and holy, and believe that God is real. Believe that love is real. Believe that miracles happen. A Course in Miracles. What a gift for me. It has been, a game changer. Woo! Here we go, y'all. Ten of Swords represents an ending of something in the mind. Since the swords represent the mind, it's really beautiful that this message has come out today, because with the 5 and the 10 of Swords, swords talk about the mind. So right now, the mind is actually allowing the chaos that's been pushed down subconsciously, that out of awareness, pushed down, hidden, is now actually being allowed by you. Like you're finally getting out of the way and allowing that conflict and fear to come up into the mind and be seen. And the Spirit says with the 7 of Wands that you've studied your lessons, and you're taking your steps and studying and really working with your mind. You're not distracting, and you're not trying to get away from the discomfort. These cards do say that the discomfort is there, and for me, I feel like there's just been like days and days of so much heart-opening love that I literally don't think I can contain my energy in my body. And there's also sleepless nights. And there are patterns being broken of how I used to get to sleep at night. So I'm having to trust Jesus and the Holy Spirit to really guide me into new ways to think, and new ways to sleep, and new ways to look at sleeping and thinking. And I just feel so grateful to have the spaciousness to be up all night with the Holy Spirit as my mind is being revealed to me, because it's 55 years now that I've walked on this earth without feeling the enormity of God's bliss and love in every single waking moment. And now that I know that that is actually possible, there is nothing else that I am going to focus on. And so I'm focusing on my own mind, because it is there that all healing occurs. And it is in the mind that you will discover your true nature, discover that the conflict there is not the voice of God. When you allow the conflict in the mind to actually come up and just be with it and allow it to be there and sit there. For me, I'll make these pacts with myself and Jesus. I'll be like, I'll be here all night with you. And I'll just light a bunch of candles and really just sit in my room to allow the presence of love to literally dissolve all the fear and chaos and doubt that seems to want to come up when it gets dark outside, especially, you know. There are ways that all of us distracted our whole life, some of us anyway, from sitting with this fear. And it's really just a puff of dust. The thoughts in the mind are not you, although they seem to be. But this card right here is saying you have the strength to face those thoughts. All these wands represent all the steps you've taken to actually have the desire for God. These are the steps you've taken on your journey to say, yeah, I want the truth. I stand in divine light, in trust now. And that is the energy that I'm picking up on, like a true desire to be with God, a true desire to be with love. And since I am only ever talking to myself, that resonates for me. I have lost all desire for the things, the trinkets of the world. And it can be, wow, it can feel really like, what the hell just happened? Again and again, you know, I've made this decision several times in my life, but you know, each time we leave home, you know, we become that much more wise to how much we don't want to leave, you know, love. We don't want to leave the only thing there is. We don't want to play games and hide and be away from the truth. So that has to be discovered by each one of us. And so the journey can seem long and tedious, but A Course in Miracles is this awesome book because it uses relationships as a fast track to wake up. And so anytime we believe our brother is hurting us or disappointing us or not playing the role we assigned to them, then we get to see where we feel abandoned or, you know, a victim or left out or unloved or unappreciated or forsaken, which cannot be if you are God's son, a child of God, eternal nature. So it's just really learning to identify with the Christ mind, with a thought system that is stable in its connection to its source. The Seven of Wands speaks of defensiveness, and the proper use of defense is denying the ego thoughts as real. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like I'm not supposed to pull any more cards. So it's just 3 cards today, and your main energy is, you know, defending the truth in your mind. Basically, it's just that right now, so these swords represent the mind, and the 5 of Swords represents conflict in the mind, and the 10 of Swords represents the end of conflict. So with this, we want to let the conflict come up. We want to allow the, hidden, pushed down conflict to actually arise in the mind, even if it's, frightening. We want to sit with it, because we are the space of the light. When we get really still and quiet into his presence, would I enter now. This woman is in divine light. She has stilled her mind. And she right now is remembering these 7 wands are representing what she's built. And since we're talking about the mind, she has learned through books and sages and contemplation and meditation, and through a lifetime of experience, she has gained knowledge and tools to help her calm her mind when there seems to be a time period where the mind is really able to allow all this seeming conflict, challenge, chaos, fear, doubt, all these thoughts that it could be anything. I'm not good enough, they're not good enough, death, any thought that isn't love. If at times the spirit can feel our yes, and we're ready, and there's so much presence that we've come into, and we're standing in this divine light and love. We've opened our heart, and we have, through all these steps, found the presence of a loving God in our own mind, and we are very much aware that it lives in us, this presence of love, and we're extending it and giving it, and it is just amazing. And it can seem like there's a back and forth for quite a while of this energy of just, I got this, and then following a back and forth, this energy with the mind just kind of being so open and free and ready for this conflict to come up and be seen so it can be released. So we're not able to heal anything that we don't know is there. So on the path, we will be asked to, if we want consistent peace, we're going to be asked to hold the presence for the chaos and fear in our own minds, because everything that we think we see in the world that is upsetting is actually a projection of our own minds. So we're going to be asked to, when we see it out there, to take it back to our own mind. And when we feel it inside of us, we're going to be asked to sit with it and just allow it to be there as we hold the space for it to be dissolved into the light of love within our own mind. So as much as we may think that there is no reason to ever sit still, because when we do, this feeling of never-ending fear may appear. And the Spirit's just saying, if it's there, you're ready. And your only job is to allow and be patient and loving and gentle with yourself. Because, into his presence, would I enter now, is where we're all headed. And it is the only way to dissolve the chaos and conflict. You can push it aside temporarily, you can distract temporarily, but it's always going to be there running the whole show until you allow it to come up and sit with it. And there's no way to kill it or make it go away through, beating yourself up or someone else. The only way to dissolve the darkness is light and love. And light and love sits quietly and does nothing. Forgiveness sits quietly and does nothing. So it's all the same. Forgiveness, vision, allowance, let it be. Let it be, let it be. That's that song is the work we're doing. We're healing. We're allowing the conflict to come up in the mind into his presence would I enter now, only it just means I can feel it when I'm saying it. So you don't have to say that to get there. You can find whatever works for you. Into his presence would I enter now makes me just want to dissolve into liquid honey right now. So that's why A Course in Miracles works for me, but you might need to find something that works for you. But the whole goal is the peace of God. The peace of God is my one goal, and the only way through the darkness is the light. And the only way to let the light be shone on the darkness is to allow the darkness to come up. And that's what we're doing. And I can see it, you're doing it because I'm doing it. Because I don't know what to do with all my energy at times and all this love that I'm feeling. And it seems like the hardest time is when it's time to go to sleep. So we don't want to sleep, we want to wake. And I just feel like we can all make the space to have some sleepless nights and just allow so that we can be in the presence of love consistently. It's a gift to be able to actually learn to sit with the false and to see it as false. You sit long enough with any conflict, you dissolve into gooey light and love. I've been practicing. So, yeah, dissolving into gooey light and love. That's your message. So yeah, you can read the words along the screen, or you can close your eyes and sink into the experience of God's love. Okay, bye. This is a day of silence and of trust. It is a special time of promise in your calendar days. It is a time heaven has set apart to shine upon and cast a timeless light upon this day when echoes of eternity are heard. This day is holy, for it ushers in a new experience, a different kind of feeling and awareness. You have spent long days and nights in celebrating death. Today, you learn to feel the joy of life. This is another crucial turning point in the curriculum. We add a new dimension now, a fresh experience that sheds a light on all that we have learned already and prepares us for what we have yet to learn. It brings us to the door where learning ceases, and we catch a glimpse of what lies past the highest reaches it can possibly attain. It leaves us here an instant, and we go beyond it, sure of our direction and our only goal. Today it will be given you to feel a touch of heaven, though you will return to paths of learning. Yet you have come far enough along the way to alter time sufficiently to rise above its laws and walk into eternity a little while. This you will learn to increasingly do as every lesson, faithfully rehearsed, brings you more swiftly to this holy place and leaves you for a moment to yourself. He will direct your practicing, for what you ask for now is what he wills. From this day forth, your ministry takes on a genuine devotion and a glow that travels from your fingertips to those you touch and blesses those you look upon. A vision reaches everyone you meet and everyone you think of or who thinks of you. For your experience today will so transform your mind that it becomes the touchstone for the holy thoughts of God. Your body will be sanctified today, its only purpose being now to bring the vision of what you experience this day to light the world. We cannot give experience like this directly, yet it leaves a vision in our eyes which we can offer everyone, that he may come the sooner to the same experience in which the world is quietly forgot and heaven is remembered for a while. As this experience increases, and all goals but this become of little worth, the world to which you return becomes a little closer to the end of time, a little more like heaven in its ways, a little nearer its deliverance. And you who bring it light will come to see the light more sure, the vision more distinct. The time will come when you will not return in the same form in which you appear now, for you will have no need of it. Yet now it has a purpose and will serve it well. Today we embark upon a course you have not dreamed of, but the Holy One, the giver of the happy dreams of life, translator of perception into truth, the holy guide to heaven given you, has dreamed for you. This journey which you make and start today, with the experience this day holds out to you to be your own. Into Christ's presence will we enter now, serenely unaware of everything except his shining face and perfect love. The vision of his face will stay with you, but there will be an instant which transcends all vision, even this, the holiest. This you will never teach, for you attained it not through learning. Yet the vision speaks of your remembrance of what you knew that instant, and will surely know again.